Hi everyone. In the 1800s, Britain wasn't just an island. It was the world's factory and banker. It traded with more than half of the planet. Everywhere British ships went, payments were made in pounds. The secret behind the pound's strength was gold. For every pound note printed, there was real gold stored in the Bank of England. That meant if you owned a note, you could exchange it for gold anytime, a promise of real value. Countries trusted this system so much that they started keeping their savings in pounds, not in their own currencies. This turned London into the world's financial capital. It's like your friend giving you a note saying, "You can get 1 bar of chocolate from me anytime." If he actually has that chocolate, you trust his note. If not, it's just paper. Then came World War I, and wars are expensive.
From the mud-choked trenches of Europe, our boys march to the front. Heavy guns thunder across the scarred fields, sending fire and steel toward enemy lines. Above, the new machines of the air prowl the clouds.
Britain spent enormous amounts on weapons, soldiers, and supplies. To pay for it, the government borrowed from other countries, especially the US, and printed more money at home. But here's the problem. They were printing more pounds than they had gold to back them. People started worrying. What if the Bank of England can't give us gold anymore? So, investors began exchanging their pounds for gold before it was too late, draining the gold reserves. By the end of the war, Britain's gold had nearly vanished, and its debts had skyrocketed. In the 1920s, Britain tried to restore the gold link. They said, 1 pound will again equal the same amount of gold as before the war. But the country wasn't as rich anymore. Factories were weaker, and trade had slowed. To maintain this old exchange rate, Britain had to make the pound look stronger than it really was. The result? Exports became expensive, unemployment rose, and gold kept leaving the country as people lost confidence. By 1931, Britain finally gave up. It abandoned the gold standard. That meant you could no longer exchange pounds for gold. Then, in 1939, World War II began.
Vergangen soll ein Riesenwerk zeigen von unserem Willen, unserem Fleiß, unserer Fähigkeit und unserer Entschlusskraft als Arbeiter an das
Britain fought again, but this time it was already in debt. To keep fighting, it borrowed massively from the US. The war destroyed factories, cities, and trade routes. By 1945, Britain was the biggest debtor in the world. Meanwhile, America, safe from war destruction, had become the world's biggest lender and gold holder. London's banks were now in ruins. New York became the new financial capital. In 1944, world leaders met at a conference called Bretton Woods. They decided the US dollar would become the new anchor of global trade, backed by America's gold. From that day, every major currency, including the pound, was tied to the dollar, not the other way around. The British Empire faded, and the American century began. Empires rise because the world believes in their money, and they fall when that belief fades. The British pound ruled for over 100 years, until debt, war, and overconfidence took it down, and the US dollar took its place. But if history has one lesson, it's that no currency reigns forever. Subscribe, and in the next video, we'll see how America built its empire of trust, and how it might one day face the same test Britain did.